Welcome to Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
Hey, it is Wednesday. It's Relics Radio. It's Colorado, and it's warm outside. Gosh, can you believe it? We keep talking about the weather. We always talk about the weather here, and man, Colorado's just been uncharacteristically warm. It's been absolutely insane. Don't take my word for it. Let me bring in my co-host. Am I lying, Tony? What do you think?
Hold on here.
Hold on. Everyone hold on a minute. Tony's going to throw one back.
Dude, this weather is stupid. How is it that I think you and I have hunted 2 times in the month of February in Colorado this year so far. We still have another weekend coming up. It may not go into, it's going to go into March, but what is going on here? And then they got pounded back in Boston got just
all of East Coast, man. New York,
yeah.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, just absolutely hammered.
The Rocky Mountains, I figured, would have more snow this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen it. I've been here since I moved here in 2000. So 26 years. I've never seen this like this. Never.
It's insane.
It's been absolutely amazing. Now, it's going to
take advantage.
Right?
I know we're going to get
March and April. We're not going to be
March.
Get out of our house for sure. But
it's that snow that like breaks trees in half, and it's just it's so heavy and it's not. We get pounded, but that's all right. We need to take advantage of it and get out and find some good stuff while we've got the getting's good.
Let's do it, man. I've been just itching to get out for sure. Last time we went out, we had such a great time, found some really cool things. So I'm just itching to get back out.
And if actually, the last time I went out, we had our guest on last week because he found some incredible things at a site we've pounded. So if you guys are listening on the replay or watching or live, go back and watch last week's. We had Michael from Metal Detecting NoCo.
Yeah.
Came up with an incredible find for Colorado, and it was a great show. Great to talk with Michael and stuff. So
it's always fun when you find things that pounded out sites. Like it just renews your faith, man. You go there and you're just like, yeah, we've been here 30 times with numerous people, numerous years. Like it's got to be done, but it's a cool place. It's a cool permission, very historic. So we always have the opportunity to find something there. And then you find more cool stuff, and you're just like,
I love it.
Never hunted out. So
we got incredible. Yeah, we got some incredible guests coming up here. So let's jump to the live chat and talk about who we've got here. And we want to bring our guests on because we have a lot to not only talk about but reveal, because we got a lot of stuff that hasn't been let out there.
Yeah, we got the scoop, man. We got the scoop.
I'm excited. All right, let's see who we got. We got Bill Hayes coming in, Mr. Bill Hayes.
What's up, Bill?
Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for coming on. He was out detecting not too long ago. I saw him and Bill were out.
Bill, the Bills, yeah.
The Bills were having a good time.
Yeah.
Lurker Troy.
What's up,
coming
Troy?
On early. Want to say hi to Mr. Brush Popper, Craig Thompson.
What's up, Brush Popper? Good to see you, Craig.
Hey, Bob Rose is with us as well.
Thanks for joining us, Bob.
Yeah. Hey, how about North Florida? Buried Treasure 116. North Florida says hello to everyone.
Ooh, North Florida. Another good place.
I know, right?
Like it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Hey, this guy, look at this. Look at this.
Hey, look at that. Detect SD. Jason, good to see you, man.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for
I was able to get together with Jason here not too long ago.
Yeah.
South Dakota, and was able to have dinner with his wife and him. And man, we had a great time. Went to this really cool restaurant, and they were telling me about the nachos there. We didn't order them, but they were kind of telling me about them. And I looked to the table next to me, and he goes, look, there's those nachos. Tony, I'm not kidding. They were on a plate and they were piled. I can't even spread my hands as high as those nachos are playing. So, but thanks to those guys, they're always real hospitable to me when I come out there to South Dakota.
That's awesome. Yep. Jason's a great guy. Brian Euler Euler. Guess that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming on, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Norm Peterson.
What's up, Norm? Everyone's got to do that,
everybody.
Right?
Norm.
That's right.
Robert in Nebraska says howdy to you.
Right up the road.
Yeah. E-Tector. What up, my diggers?
There we go. What's up, E-Tector?
Yeah. Scotty Copper's joining us.
Good to see you again. Excellent.
Pouring in some Knob Creek. I told him that I had to pour some Whistle Pig.
I had to pour some, seltzer water. I'm taking it light tonight.
That's right. Digging to Connect.
Digging to Connect.
I always say that incorrectly, but
Mhm.
hey y'all.
Yeah.
Miss Barb.
Hello, Barb. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh. I want to get down here. Let me see who else we got. Hey, I want to say good morning to Larry, 5 Mile Relic Hunter. I was just chatting with him before we came on the show. So good to have you on there, Larry. Andrew XT and Andrex T. Andrext.
Andrex T. There you go.
Andrex T. Yeah. Welcome on.
Is that young Riley? Not so young Riley anymore?
No, we're going to get to see Riley here pretty soon. He's all grown up. Look at that.
Barb said, Riley used to be my cabin boy. Riley, you're going to have to tell us that story when you get on.
I don't know if I want to hear that. Say hi to Bells real quick on my phone. So good evening, everyone.
Lucky Bells. I'm going to start calling her Lucky Bells.
Ooh, that's a good one.
She's won some things.
Yeah, that's true. D Jeep 7740. Good morning from
Georgia.
Or good evening. Sorry, I always say good morning. Good evening from Georgia.
Yeah, good to see you.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, look
Metal
who's here.
Detectorist.
What's up, Bree?
Bree.
How are you?
Yep.
She'll be joining us here pretty soon, not too long from now.
Yeah, you just let the cat out of the bag on that one. Yeah, scheduling update. Bree's coming on the show.
Very cool.
So we'll have her on pretty soon. A couple more people here. We got Tim Digger. I know I want to get to the guests, so I'm going to zip. Metal Sharks. Who did I miss here?
J-Man, good to see you.
FLX Detectorist.
Yeah.
Crazy Diggin'.
So crazy.
And on and on and on. We appreciate you guys coming on. If you guys listen on the replay, please join us for the live chat. There's a bunch of rowdy people over here having great conversations, and just love having the live chat, man. It's awesome. We appreciate all those people that come on with us every single week. So
yeah, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Any news we need to let out of the bag or anything?
News?
Anything? Yeah. Nothing really.
Big new detector being released by my lab.
Yep.
Big dog.
The big dog, yeah.
The big dog, yeah. Let me see what else. Oh,
it came out this morning.
Legend 2 recently came out, started shipping. Everyone's been really enjoying that I've seen.
Lots of good videos out there for the Legend 2.
Yeah, some good stuff. But let's get to our guests, man. Let's bring these guys on.
All right, let's do this.
And gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
What's up?
RelicRiley.
Try to make my camera not so shaky here.
You're nervous. That's why it's shaking.
I know. I'm nervous what people are going to think of the Snuggie I'm wearing. I'm really nervous. I'm not selling these guys. Don't worry. I'm not selling them. But if you want one,
that is fuzzy. Look at that.
Yeah. Warm
perfect
and
for
comfy,
winter.
man. Warm and comfy. I'm down here in my basement freezing. I'm like, it gets really cold down here, and I was like,
yeah,
I need one of those.
You need a Snuggie.
I just
need a RelicRiley Snuggie
right there, man.
You got to start marketing those, bud.
I know. I need to put a RelicRiley Snuggie. That's what I need to. I need to patent it.
Yeah.
I know there's a straight Ken. It looks like I had the same color on my wall as you do yours.
Yeah. Are you guys in the same room?
Brandon?
No, I am not in Riley Snuggie. I promise you that. Okay?
No, you're not in there. I look.
Oh, you're talking about Ken. Oh, yeah. Okay.
How are you guys, man?
We're hanging in there, man. I'm still recovering from the ice storm that hit here. I mean, it's just wrecked our area, and I know the New England just got slammed too.
Yeah, it's great. I've just been seeing the images and talking to people back east and stuff. Now, where are you both? Like Riley, you in Georgia?
No, I'm in Memphis.
In Memphis, and Brandon, you're in
Memphis.
Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm in Central Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony and I are both in Colorado, and we were just saying before the show, right? Usually we're packed in snow too, and it has just been missing us. I haven't had to shovel at all this year. There's been no snow on the ground anywhere.
So that's how bad it got us, man. Nobody has a shovel around here or a snow blower or anything. We had to bring in plows from other states, man. Like, well, it's bad then.
Mm-hmm.
An inch of snow and we're shut down for a week.
Yep, milk and bread sandwiches.
Bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, milk sandwiches. Yeah.
That was the first thing that sold, man. I need to open up a bread factory when every time it snows, people just buy it out.
There is one in Memphis, though. Bread factory.
I think there is actually a bread factory in Memphis.
Is there?
I think. I know there's a Kellogg's plant. There's a town I metal detect in that always smells like Pop-Tarts. It's just like an overwhelming. No, I'm serious. It's like an overwhelming Pop-Tart, like a fresh one right in your face. It's almost so strong that it's like will give you a headache after you're out. I was
going to ask you, yeah. Did it get on you after a while?
Oh, it definitely did. The wind was blowing one day, and it was like I was like, I can't take this anymore. I got to go to the other side of town or something. Like this is. I like Pop-Tarts and donuts, but I don't want a donut in my face for 8 hours while I'm relic hunting.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, you're going to really appreciate it. You come to Denver, you go through Commerce City, I think it's, or Denver. We have a Purina dog food plant. And you drive.
I'd rather smell Pop-Tarts, man.
Pop-Tarts all day.
I bet that smells like a fish dock.
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's nasty.
I remember my father told me during
close to it though. I bet the houses are dirt cheap.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Nobody wants to live there.
And there's a lot of cats around for some reason.
Yeah. I wonder why.
My father, when he was in basic training, said that he grew up next to a chocolate factory, and it made him just absolutely hate chocolate. Like he could never eat it the rest of his life because just smelling that the entire time.
I bet there's a lot of women that live in that town.
Yeah.
only for a week a month though.
Yeah.
That's it. In February. That's it. Easy. So thanks for coming on with us, guys, man. We really appreciate your time and stuff. I mean, we've all kind of known each other here and there throughout the community for a while and stuff, and watching you both kind of what you're digging, what you're finding out there forever. Riley, I think I've reached out to you personally a time or two when I've needed identification on something.
Yeah.
And you've been real gracious to kind of answer my questions. But so how long people, now I don't believe it, but somebody out there listening, either on the replay or watching tonight, might not know who you all are, how long you've been digging, stuff like that. So Riley, like how long you been digging? Like what's your background in this craziness we do?
So I got started back in, I want to say 2012 is when I really picked it up and touched a detector for the first time. And then I really got into it. It exploded. I kind of coin hunted in 2013 for a little while. And then late 2013, I found my first Civil War bullet, which was just a small little Colt pistol bullet. And I found it in a super random spot. I didn't even know anything super old was going to be there. And after that, I started looking more into Civil War stuff. And then I found some other cool Civil War things right out of the gate, some rare stuff that honestly I should have looked another 10 years before I found. And I got lucky pretty early. And ever since late 2013, 2014, I've been relic hunting like as much as I can, realistically. Anytime I can squeeze out of the house.
Where'd that come from initially? Like, did family members do it?
So I was
how'd you find out about it? Yeah.
And my dad had gotten a metal detector, a Radio Shack metal detector, like in the 90s or something. It was just had one of those that had just a needle on it. Yeah. And it was sitting out in the garage one day, and I was down there messing around. I'd already done all my schoolwork, and I had 3-4 hours to kill, and I found it in there, and I'm like, no way this thing still works. And I slapped some batteries in it, and it worked. And I went out in my backyard and hunted around for like an hour or two, and I found there was like a 1940s house next door, and I found one of those World War II Great Seal buttons.
Oh, man.
And I was like, oh, eureka! I thought it was the greatest find in history. I remember I ran all the way back inside my house, and I was like, oh, it's a Civil. I was convinced it was a Civil War button.
Yeah. It's got an eagle on it. Come on.
Yeah. But ever since then, I've just gone crazy with it. It took me a little bit of time before I got into like trying other places, like getting on private land and stuff. That takes a lot of getting used to for somebody just starting.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I started hunting full time, and I've been digging ever since. So I would say 12 years. Pretty solidly.
Yeah. How about you, Brandon? What's your sort of origin story?
Yes, I started out sort of my great grandfather once took me on his old where they had homesteaded back in the early 1900s. His family was actually in the 1800s, and he was born in 1910. And he even told me about this Native American family that actually lived on their property when his parents homesteaded the place in the 1800s, and that this Native American family still lived there. And he was telling me about how nice they were. Well, he took me down this dirt road through this field, and I ended up finding my first arrowhead. And after that, I was, hooked on history. And it wasn't until about 2000, I don't know, roughly 2002, maybe. I can never remember exactly the year, but I remember it was a White's Prism 6T, and I bought it at Hobby Store in Little Rock, and went out in my front yard and found like one of those. The first thing I ever found was one of those, the Chinese coins, with a square hole in it or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then several years later, I ended up getting a Garrett AT Pro, and got permission on a Civil War site and started finding a bunch of bullets. And I was just, I was enamored, intrigued. And it's just been that way since.
Yeah.
That's great.
Brandon, what'd your family think of it when you started getting into this hobby?
They're all into history. They all love it,
Yeah.
And so it's something that's just been passed down, through the family, and everybody just loves history. They love to, to uncover the past. I'm trying to think of the right words to say for it, but yeah, they share the same passion as I do. So.
That's awesome.
It's lucky, man, because like Tony, you and I talk to every guest that comes on here about that, and like history was never pushed on me. You know what I mean? I never had teachers that made it exciting. It always seemed like it was just a dredge to kind of go through it. Remembering all these dates, it wasn't pushed or made exciting to me until I started metal detecting. And now history is like the biggest part of it, right? History, research, learning about what was there prior, what the people were like, why they used certain items they did. And we're not in a Civil War area, right? we had cavalry soldiers here in the 1850s, helping to protect people pushing west. But, still there is history here where we live, and we're just so interested in trying to learn as much as we can about it. But I feel bad that it's so late coming in my life, because I enjoy it so much. So if you guys were pushed on history on,
we needed to start way back, like when Riley started way back, back in the day. Shoot, we would have been doing this for too many years then, right?
Yeah. Just think, man.
We got a late start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the same thing too. Like if I would have got started early, it's like,
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I always think, because I actually lived in Winchester, Virginia for a year, and I wasn't detecting yet. I was like, I really wanted to. I was watching videos, but I just was like, I don't know if I'm really going to do this. It seems so awkward. And then I came back to Colorado, and then like within the first 2 months I got back to Colorado, I was like, went on eBay and bought an Ace 250. And I was like, that was it. Now I'm hooked. And now I keep kicking myself, because I'll look back at like old maps of where I used to live in Winchester. And I because there was 3 different battles in Winchester during the Civil War. It changed hands 3 times. And I put the maps over the top of it. I'm like, right on my backyard is where, they were. I was right in there.
Can you go back there?
No.
Man.
I wish. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Just move back there, Tony, right now, man. Just leave everything behind and start driving.
I think about it. I think because it's such a hot spot, and it was gorgeous. Right through the Shenandoah Valley, and it's just such a beautiful area of the country. But I'm set here in Colorado. There's a lot, like Ken was saying, there's a lot to do here in Colorado still. Some unique history too that not a lot of people really know about. So we're still blessed. We're still blessed.
Hey, now that you told us that, what's going to happen is you're going to be watching TV one day, and you're going to see us in there, and you'll be like, "Wait a minute, that's where I used to live."
Brandon's going to have a perfect U.S. buckle. Oh my gosh, it's a U.S. buckle. It was right next to your old mailbox.
Yeah, and from the ground, Brandon looks up and goes, "Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks for leaving me this one, buddy."
That's funny. So Tony and I are digging partners. We've been detecting together ever since we both started. And we're always joking about that. Like he'll send me a picture of like a house for sale, like in New Hampshire or something, or Virginia. And he'll be like, so what do you think? He goes, I know you want to go, but should we take the wives or not? So we're always joking about, let's just get a place and all join together.
Yeah.
Big family back there somewhere. Someday.
Buy up as much land as you can in a hot spot.
Right.
Sure.
Yep.
Is getting permission tough for you guys?
Depends on where I'm asking. It changes a lot. If I'm in an area that's like a lot of stuff has come out over the years from other people, it can be difficult because people have already had run-ins with a bunch of different relic hunters over the years, and of course there's going to be a couple of bad ones out of the bunch, so every now and then I'll run into somebody that's got a bad experience. Me and some friends knocked a place the other day, and the guy was real nice at first, and then we were like, yeah, we'd like to metal detect, and then he was not nice anymore.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, somebody came years ago and left big holes all over my front yard, destroyed they hit my landscaping and broke a sprinkler pipe, and then they left, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But you
Ruins for the
can't
rest
convince
of us.
people when you're already, you're a stranger and they've already had a bad experience. You're pretty much toast at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, so everyone listen to that's out there listening or watching, and just take that to heart. When you're out metal detecting, it's not about you. It really is about us. You know what I mean? It's about
as a community,
the community. You're representing this community, and sort of, we all want to do it for a long period of time on some good property, and you got to treat things right. You got to do things the right way for sure.
One thing I can say is for any advice for beginners or people who typically don't knock on doors, don't show up at the front door of somebody's house with your detector and your shovel in your hand. It's always good to just introduce yourself and get to know people. That's what people want, is that connection, and that's more important than anything, a heartfelt connection too.
Agreed.
Yeah. I know many times we'll ask for permission just to get the permission to talk to them, and we're not even there. We don't even go the same day. Like, we'll be like, okay, cool, yeah. Well, we're planning on coming out this weekend or something, or is okay. We call you ahead of time. What's going on? And it's definitely important.
It's the rapport. You're building that rapport, because it's, it is kind of awkward to sit there and door knock a stranger and then ask if you can dig in their yard. I mean, it can be a very awkward situation. So I think the most successful detectorists that get the best permissions are ones that just are real people, and then make that connection on a personal level, and to gain the trust. That seems like the biggest thing. For them to say, oh yeah, sure, go ahead and go back there. Because one of the other things, besides digging in someone's yard, people are always worried, well, they're going to steal all the treasure that's in my yard, and it's like, sure, okay, yeah, that's the least of our worries right now, to be honest with you. I'm hoping I don't dig up a body before I dig up, a gold coin cache.
Yeah.
So
and another thing too is, like, you got to build, especially like, it changes wherever you are. It's different in little towns, but when you have like farms that are next to each other, cattle farms and stuff, all those people know each other. They're some of them are really close. I mean, I run into that a lot where, I'll get permission. There's, say, 10 farms that are all next to each other. Well, all 10 farmers know each other. They're like family and friend to each other. Sure. So if you get on one, you build a good relationship with one, they start telling you tell the others, they'll vouch for you. And then you've got this guy that says, I already let him dig my property, and he was super respectful. He took care of everything. He closed all the gates behind him. I can pretty much tell you're not going to have any problems with him, awesome. And I've gotten on places that if I had just cold call knocked, they would have told me no for sure. So, you kind of have to play it by ear while you're knocking and determine whether or not it's worth, okay, should I knock this now? Or should I build some credibility with these landowners and then approach that one? It's a lot of timing too. And if people have seen you somewhere else, like I knocked a place the other day that was down the street from a place that I've dug a lot. That's a big open field that's right by the road. And I knocked on the door, And the lady answered, and she looks at me and she goes, "I was wondering when you'd show up."
Ah,
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
okay, well, do I have to even tell you what I'm asking for? And she's like, no, you want a metal detect my yard? Go for it. Go right
Yeah.
ahead. I
Here's
didn't
a
even
map.
have to ask.
here's a map.
Well,
Here's where
Yeah.
the things were.
Yeah, but
You're
if you
waiting,
can
that's so
build,
Too
cool.
easy.
if you
Too
can
easy.
build, some credibility for yourself, and you get well known in your
Yeah.
community, and sure, 90% of people around there might not know who I am, but they've seen me at some point.
Yeah.
They've driven
Yeah.
past and they've seen, I wonder what that guy is out there doing, and then the same person knocks on their door, they know, well, I just saw them on so-and-so's property, so they must be cool, or so-and-so must know them, and they're more likely to even answer the door at that point, if they recognize you or know what you might be asking for. But I've also run into the fact where they know what I'm asking for and they intentionally avoid me.
They don't like it.
So it's a double-edged sword for sure. But, you just kind of have to, it's all a numbers games with permission. You just have to just keep knocking and don't get discouraged if somebody's, rude to you or something.
Yeah.
It's
all
funny
run
you
into
mention
that.
it. It's funny you put it that way, that you're in a field for so long and guy drives by, twice a day, going out to work and coming back home and sees you out there and kind of gets to know you in that way. And then when you go and talk with them, and that's what we're actually hoping to do with this one particular site. We've been out there literally 7 years, and we've talked to him, I think, once or twice, and he said no both times, but we continue to go back out there. He came home last weekend when we were out there, drove up the drive, and you wave at him, you make sure that he sees that you're swinging your big detector, big arcs and things like that, and wave at him real nice. He knows who we are. We're just hoping that over time he just breaks down and goes, okay, you guys, if you were a bunch of fly by night kind of idiots, you guys would have been gone already. But you seem respectful, and stewards to the land and to the landowners and things like that. So even if you don't get that permission right away, I like what you said. Do I door knock this now, or do I gain a little bit more, people seeing me out here a little bit more, because it might turn into something better? Oh, it's a great idea.
And then the more people
perspective.
too, when you ask, like the places that I dig, like I said earlier, they're all farms. So names mean a lot to people when you talk to them. They if they hear one of 5 names, I've got permission to, A and B, and you name drop right there on the spot. They know, okay, well, those people must know who this is. Those people trusted this person, haven't had any problems with them. It adds a little bit more familiarity. Plus, this is my personal favorite, and it's worked for me many times. If I name drop right out of the gate and it's a bunch of people they know, they're way less likely to be mean or rude to me, because I know a bunch of people they know. They don't want me to go tell all their friends that I was that they were mean to me, when I knocked on their door. So it's kind of a little bit of that too. It helps a lot.
It's a game. It's a strategic game you can play, and some people are really good at it. And you need a lot of experience to kind of, fall into things and get really good at it. But there's a lot of new people that are watching that haven't door knocked before. I mean, these are all fantastic little notes just to take here and try them out.
Who was it we had on the show, Tony? We did almost an entire show on getting permissions. Was it James Huntley?
It was.
Didn't he say
he
was 35 out of 35, 35 asked,
35 in a row.
Yes. And he gave us all the tips he did. And it was all about the way he approached them. Step back off the porch, remove your hat. Very respectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That's
kind of telling him he always kept, what do you call his little bag of goodies? He always brought out kind of a little show and tell of what he typically finds, buckles, buttons, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too great, but this is kind of stuff I'm looking for. He always knew the history of the property that he was approaching, and just tried to make that connection with them. And just like you said, Riley, drop any names you have from around the area. It's definitely important.
Yeah,
Brandon,
I always keep Civil War bullets with me, and I always bring them up to the door and like, hey, this is the kind of stuff I found. I don't know if you would like these, or maybe you have some children that would like to have it, but any like silver coins, or I'm always bad about giving the stuff that I find away to the homeowners, and I'll even offer that right up front. I mean, like, I'll give you anything, and not everybody may want to do that. I just do it just because I like to find it. And I'm like, well, you'll know what I find because you'll see it on Facebook if you want to follow me,
Right.
So,
Right.
So, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah. How do you do your research, Brandon? What's your process for doing research?
Oh, whenever I go to Riley's house, I just kind of go through his diaries and his little stuff and just kind of take notes. And
I let Brandon rummage through my junk box and get a couple keepers to take home.
yeah, that's right. No, I do. I mean, really and truly, the way I do it is like around here. Let's say just older neighborhoods. I'll go through and I'll look at old topo maps and old Sanborn maps and things like that. And of course, I'm looking for the privies, or the outhouses. I'm looking for everything and taking all that in consideration. But I mainly just use old maps and just use my intuition and that sort of thing. Really, when it boils down to it.
And Riley, I've been watching your finds, man, and you've been on some pretty amazing property and some land that you found some really incredible things. So, and I would guess, you tell me if I'm wrong, but I would guess that maybe you're digging into more than just maps. I think you're probably digging into journals or letters home and all kinds of other stuff. Am I right about that? Or what are you getting into?
Some of my best spots I have found completely by accident. Intuition, like Brandon said, is a lot of it. Once you get familiar with the history of your area, like what all the main old roads were, like for me, I love looking for plantation sites, because if I find a good plantation site, not only am I going to find a bunch of antebellum stuff, but there's nearly always something Confederate at every single one, because all those guys sent their sons and their fathers and all that, to war, and they came back with their stuff. And then a lot of the times the soldiers would visit those because the plantations had resources, they went and raided them. So a lot of it for me is intuition, because over the years of researching all these plantations, I've been able to kind of recognize a pattern of where they would put a plantation or where a good spot to put one would be. And usually about 25% of the time, if I find an area that matches the criteria geographically, like on a topo map, and it's right where an old road is, and it's in the general area where it would be, it's got fields down below the plateau, that type of stuff. Like 25% of the time, there ends up being a home site there. And nearly always it's one there is no record of at all.
Sure.
Like you won't find anything about it. But I found a few cool spots, even just researching online, a mention of something here or there. One of the better plantation sites I found, I noticed on a hand-drawn map where there was a little dot on the map. And I wasn't even so sure if it was a house or if the guy had spilled a drop of ink on. I mean, seriously, it was that bad of a map. But I thought, well, I looked at the area roughly where I thought it was, and it looked like a really good spot geographically. It was a nice flat, high plateau. It had a river basin right down below it that had all cotton fields today. So I was like, man, there's got to be I bet those fields have been cotton fields for 200 years. And I walked 3.5 miles to get to this spot one way. It took me like an hour and a half to get there. And I get back there and I find this chimney in the woods. Oh. And this place had been burned in 1864. And I walked around this chimney. I'm like, this doesn't really look like it's 1864 chimney. Like, this looks like it's a little later. So I hunted around that spot, and there was very little that was Civil War period. It was all later 1800s. And then on the way out, I walked over this hill that was like just adjacent to it. And there was a little pile of bricks, and that was the original house that had burned down in 1864, and it had never been touched. Nobody had ever been there. My buddy walked up and found half a spur that was just laying right on top of the ground. I mean, he picked it up. He's like, oh, look, it's half a Confederate spur. I'm like, dude. I'm like, you know what this means?
It means it's never been here.
I'm like, there could be a buckle in here, man. Easy. And we found a bunch of cool stuff there. But like, that was just a mix between intuition and just trial and error. A lot of those old spots are just trial and error. You just got to go check a bunch of spots. I only post the hunts where I do well. There are plenty of hunts where I don't find squat.
Right.
You know, so it's just a matter of just knocking them out one by one and just seeing if you can get on it. There are many spots that I know are great spots, but they've told me no. And it's like, it's like, I know there's a bunch of stuff. Every time I drive by it, I'm like, there's a buckle right there, man. I just can't, I can't get it.
Like you said, though, that's when you go on to the neighbors, Nick, because if you can sell them and get them going, you may talk to that guy
work your
again.
magic.
Yeah, you just got to drill down and just, you know, put in some work and just grind it out in that area until you can get enough notoriety in the community to where you're, you know, people are more receptive to you.
Sure.
I do a lot of genealogy. Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say, what's funny is you mentioned that sometimes a lot of your stuff is just kind of stumbling or not very well documented, you know, and things like that. Just this past week, and Ken's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I was actually on. I'll tell you exactly. I was on eBay and I was looking at stuff for old stuff from Colorado, right? Just trying to get ideas and things like that. I came across a postcard that mentioned a specific site about a specific thing that interested me in history for Colorado. And I started doing research on it. I couldn't find anything at all in anywhere. Nothing mentioned the specific site, blah, blah, blah. Comes to find out, it was only, I don't want to say too much, but we ended up finding possibly where it's at through one old book mention inside of it. Was mentioned 2 different times in the same paragraph in one book. And that's the only mention I've heard of this site.
And it was a camp.
And now we got it was a camp. Yeah, it was a military camp.
I will say, but yeah.
And now so now we boots on the ground. I reached out to a guy in that area that I've got contact with, and he did some looking and starts to match up some hills and the mountains behind it. And he goes, I think we might be close. So, I mean, who knows what that's going to turn into, but you know, it could be nothing. But man, if it's not documented and nobody knows about this freaking site, who knows what we're going to pull out of this place?
Yeah,
right.
That's the kind of site that'll make you lose sleep at night, sitting there thinking about it.
Well, you're right. I can attest to that.
Yeah, I've had several sites like that where I'm like, I'll be walking up to the door like just with every single finger, all my toes crossed. Please be nice and be, you know, receptive to me. It's like, it's the greatest feeling in the world to know that there's something there and then to get permission. You know, it's like, I'm going to go pop some champagne and party for a minute before I get started. You know, it's like, I know I'm going to have a good day then, but that's rare, man. It's just really rare to just know that know it's not been hit. Like what you said, the stuff that's just a slight mention of it.
Yeah.
Nobody's found that.
No.
You know, and
I don't think so.
Most people are not doing research like that, you know, and they certainly didn't back in the day. I mean, 80s, 90s, you know, you didn't even really you can get on the internet and look stuff up then, you know, so you just kind of had to dig obvious spots and read diaries, and who's really going to sit there, you know, for a week straight and read through a diary from 1859. You know, most people are not that into it. But yeah, it takes a lot of work to get on that stuff for sure, as you guys know.
But once don't you get this, even if you know that it's a good site and you get the permission, even if you're door knocking and you've just got some intuition, that feeling though, when they say yes, don't you still have that giddy feeling?
Oh, like, definitely.
You know, you don't know if it's been hunted. You don't know what's been there. You don't even know what you're going to find in the next 3 hours. And you almost have that school kid, like, oh my gosh, you know, what are we going to do? Where are we going to start? You know, should we grid? No, let's just go. You know, we're going to go behind. We're going to do the front yard. Like all these different things are going through your head, and you're just like so amped up, even if you don't know or if we're going to find anything.
Yeah. And I always say this, that to me, it's, you know, I've said this a million times. It's great to find things. It's so much fun to find things. But for me, the joy is in the hunt. It's the anticipation of each swing. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to go off any minute now. It's going to sound beautiful. To me, I get excited about that. Whether I find anything or not, that's enough. I'll just go home with a smile no matter what. So.
I
Yeah,
agree.
targets. I know I was doing research. I do a lot of genealogy research on my family, and I was looking back, and this one line of my father's side goes to Illinois, like 1830s, 1840s, something like that. And I was looking at, I found a map that showed my last name is King, and it showed King property. They called it King's Hill, and they had a number of areas there that when I look at the land ownership, it was all these kings in the neighborhood, right, in the area. So of course I go there now, I find the exact area, and then there's Google Street View that happened to have one right next to the field. So I drop my pin down on there, and now I look up, and I'm scanning the farm field, and it's all corn. And then what do I see? A chimney.
Oh man.
An old broken down chimney right where the dot was. And I haven't been there yet to this day, but I know that's my old ancestral home's land. And so I've already got like, okay, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to write the current landowner and explain who I am. And say, I'm coming out next week. I'm going to come by and see you. And I guess there's a King family cemetery that's kind of in this little patch that some of my other family members that have been researching genealogy actually went out there and took pictures of. And I'm just giddy because to me, searching some of your ancestral land with you actually have your ancestors from, some of your heritage is from. If I found something that said King on it at a site like that, I don't know what I'd do. I'd lose my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd just be the ultimate.
That's crazy.
But, someday, when I saw that chimney, I was like, that's the darn chimney right there. Holy cow, it's still standing.
Man, that's awesome.
Man. Hey, well, let's get into why we had you guys on. Now, we had been seeing on social media over a little period of time that you guys were kind of teasing out there that you'd been kind of involved in some type of filming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some type of filming. I've seen it kind of released here and there. So what's going on, guys? We can finally kind of talk about a little bit, like, what is this? What's going on? Who wants to take it?
You go for it, Brandon. I'll let you tell it.
Okay.
I've been talking too much already.
Okay. Yeah, you have. I was going to say something. I was like, y'all cut his mic? But no, I'm just kidding. No. Yeah. So I'm trying to think how to say this. Of course, we had some other film projects going on, and a producer of this one show that still being shopped around that I had done some work with, from the girl from Yellowstone, Dawn Olivieri, the producer from that had become really good friends actually with a guy. His name is Eric. He's from Benton, where I live, and I've known Eric most of my life. And so he ends up knowing this producer, and they get to talking and all this, and then it basically just kind of ended up to where Eric's like, hey, let's do our own show, let's do this thing. And then it really just kind of spawned from there, come up with the History Hunters thing. And oh yeah, there's a picture there. And so was this your guys' idea that you approached him with? Did he kind of approach it with you like, hey, I think it'd be a cool show to kind of, the show you were involved with, right, was like In My Natural State or something like that? Was it just sort of, hey, I think it would kind of be a good tie off of that to kind of put something together? Or was it you guys kind of going out and finding somebody that might want to do this show? No, it actually, like what first you mentioned there, we kind of talked about it shortly after I'd filmed this one episode for the In My Natural State, and it sort of just happened from there. And Riley, I can't really remember exactly.
It's so complicated and random really how this all was born. I understand why Brandon's having a little bit of trouble with it, because we kind of had this idea, I saw the lack of good quality metal detecting shows that are out there. Everybody gets on YouTube and they'll watch, on YouTube, all these various, creators and stuff, and Facebook and all the social media. People will get on there and just watch like clockwork. Like take the Hoover Boys, for example. You know, everybody tunes into the Hoover Boys, you know, every Wednesday, bunch of people go and check, you know, me included. I'll go look and see if they've uploaded a video yet, you know? So I got to thinking, it's like, you know, nobody else is doing a show. Like, why don't we, you know, the Diggers show had already kind of died out and wasn't really aired anymore. And, you know, really Oak Island was the only thing. And that's really not even what I would consider a true metal detecting show. You know, it's more like them just doing research and, you know, background work rather than hands-on, you know, relic hunting. But me and Brandon kind of were working on our own things at the same time as all this stuff happened with his show. And he had actually invited me to be there when they filmed that, but I couldn't make it. And then after that, we were like, well, let's just try to start our own show. You know, let's get together, me and you, Brandon, and we'll start something, you know, see what happens with it. You know, what's the worst could happen? So it failed, you know, at least we gave it a shot. Sure. So we kind of got together and we tried a few different things. We filmed a couple things here and there over in Arkansas, and nothing really came of that. And we tried some more stuff. And really the number one problem was our budgeting. Because, I mean, to make a quality TV show, it is car money. It's like $50,000 to make a good quality one singular episode, you know, to pay for camera crew and travel and everybody's time. And nobody else, you know, people don't have $50,000 laying around. You know, I know I certainly don't. So I had to go reach out to a bunch of people. And I know Brandon reached out to a bunch of people. And we got together a little group of interested investors and kind of ran it by them. And one of my personal friends ended up being like, you know what, this is a cool idea. You know, I'm going to back y'all on it. And so he became our lead investor on it. And we had to set everything up, and took us months to try to find a spot, to try to get all our crew down. And then once we finally did it and pulled the trigger on it, you know, we were out there, we got a good spot, we got a good crew, and when
did y'all actually pull the trigger? Was it 2025 or was it?
So the show, the pilot was filmed. We had an attempt at filming an episode in August of 2024. And that one didn't work out. And so we worked from August of 24 to about March, April of 25. And that's when we got it really kind of laid out, and we got our funding and we got our crew and everything together. And then we filmed in May of 25, and then we've been in post-production from May to basically like the other day. So it's been a long path of lots of things that I don't enjoy, but it's you know, it hopefully it'll end up, you know, to where, you know, it'll give everybody a good opportunity and something for people to watch, you know, where it's kind of like a little history documentary, because it's not going to be just us bouncing from find to find going, oh, look, a flat button. You know, you're going to learn everything about the site, why we're there, why it's significant, you know, what every piece is. You know, it's going to be more educational than it will be, you know, a comedy or a drama or a reality show. But it'll definitely have some. Now, there's no way me and Brandon get together and there ain't something fun going on. We're cracking jokes the whole time. You know, the post-production crew had a heck of a time just editing out, you know, just jokes we were cracking at each other.
I'm doing my best to behave myself right now, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Brandon are on our best behavior now, but it's been a long process, and, you know, a lot of work and a lot of time. You know, I know me and Brandon both, you know, we've just been kind of just drilling into it, and it's just been so much work, but we finally got, you know, some fruits of our labor now, you know, and it's honestly, I'm super happy with it. I'm a very picky about stuff being good quality. You know, I don't want to put out something that's not good, you know. So me and Brandon have been going back through drafts. You know, they've sent us a draft of the final episode months ago, and we've spent months picking it apart and making dang sure it was good. You know, change this, change that. You know, this information's wrong.
Yeah.
Making sure everything's accurate in it. So
Yeah.
I think
it
in knowing
should be a
both you
really good
guys,
show.
in terms of accuracy, I think that's what you're going to excel at, because both you guys are, you have the passion for being factually correct with everything,
Integrity,
and being
the
able,
whole thing.
integrity, all of that. Yeah. And being able to identify something to a T, exactly what it is. I think that's what's going to set it apart. And hearing you talk about it, I know that part's really going to kind of shine through, and that's what's going to draw a lot of people in. I know that I love watching ones where I learn something. It's not just entertainment per se, but if I can walk away from something and go, oh, I didn't know that's what that was, and now I know, that to me is more. It's a lot more fun for me to watch. So
and the beauty of it. Go
ahead, Brandon.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like this is important for people to know as well.
Yeah.
That it's not about just having a metal detector and telling a little story and digging up some Civil War bullets. This is what's going to set this show apart from, I don't say show. I mean, it's really a documentary about Riley and I, and what we're passionate about, I should say. But it's so much more than that. It's traveling all over the United States and even the world, and documenting and telling the stories of history, and where it could even have to be rewritten because of the things that we find, or proving what already has been written. But it's not only just metal detecting, but it's Spanish treasure. We're talking dinosaurs. We're talking Meg teeth. We're talking just. I mean, it's not just using a metal detector. It's crawling through old buildings, looking for documents, and just, I mean, you think it's going to appease and draw in people who aren't just interested in metal detecting, but some treasure hunting and hunting history of all kinds. So that's really,
we're not limiting ourselves at all.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. That it's your history. What's the name of the show? History Hunters, right?
History Hunters.
It's
History
not
Hunters.
metal detectorists or this and that. It's all history and stuff. And I know watching your social media and stuff, you both kind of have experience with Native American artifacts and stuff like that, and bottles and the whole gamut. You talk about finding old papers and stuff. I mean, that's amazing. If you guys can, if you guys are able to pull that off. It sounds great. I know a while back, like I saw some pictures. I think you guys filmed with Gypsy a little bit. Was that back in 24 that you guys were doing that?
That was the first attempt in 24. We did some metal detecting. That was a little bit of a mix of metal detecting and Native American stuff.
Yeah. And was that with your guys' setup, or was that with her setup? Because I know for a while there, she was trying to develop some shows. And
it was a kind of a mix. It was kind of something we decided to do, but just since then, with just doors have been opened for her and then for us, and so it's just kind of things have kind of worked the way as it is now. It's just kind of happened this way. So there's not if that makes sense.
Well, you talk about fun things happening during the show. The only one question I have about that, Brandon, is did Carl Childers make an appearance anytime during this filming stuff? It did.
I did. Yes, sir.
As soon as I saw him make that face, I knew what was coming.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I reckon that's all. Carl, he made an appearance in there.
Oh, that's good.
The world
we gotta watch it then.
Can't wait to see Carl.
All right, then.
See you, Carl.
But another thing that me and Brandon, I know when we built this when we constructed everything, we wanted to leave it as plain and simple as possible. We have no detector company sponsorships. We're not detector specific. We're using whatever we feel is the best for that situation. So there's no limit. You're not going to see, all of one product, because people catch that thing. They'll catch that. If you're using all one brand, they're going to know, okay, well, that might not be the best detector, but it might be who's paying them,
Yeah,
and we don't want it to be like that. We want to be representing the brand for their skill, for their product. Me and Brandon, we use completely different brand detectors. I use an XP and he uses a Garrett, and that's the way it'll be on the show. Now, will we use other brands if the situation calls for it? Absolutely. I have all kinds of different detectors that I switch between depending on what the situation calls for. If I'm digging in Virginia or something and the soil's terrible, an Expeditous ain't going to cut it. I'm going to need a pulse induction detector,
Right.
so we want to be able to switch around so where we have the best options at our disposal, and it's not going to be just us either. Our plan for the show is to be able to have guests on there, friends, and it not be just, me and Brandon be the co-hosts, but we have other people on too. It's not excluding people. So, it just makes it more of a community friendly show. Everybody gets a little bit of representation, and you meet a lot of different personalities and some people that you might not have met before. So we want to, branch out in that category as well.
So is the producer, you don't have to name names, but is the producer a producer from these type of adventure shows, outdoor adventure shows?
Yes, actually he has done some outdoor TV show stuff. And so he actually, because of his connection with the outdoor world, is kind of how we ended up with our camera crew and the editor and the other producers, because they already do things for the outdoor channel. And so they have their foot in the door already with all that.
That's great.
And we needed a crew that was used to being outdoors. I mean, let's be for real. You can't pull somebody out of a Hollywood office and say, "Yeah, man, come traipsing through the Louisiana jungle with me, man. I'm gonna go find a lead bullet from 1862." They're not gonna be having fun.
No, they're not. That's great though. But isn't it amazing? Like when Tony, on one of the shows Tony and I filmed, afterwards, we really were talking to the camera crews because we're both YouTubers, any advice you can give us. And they were just like, shoot everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Shoot the ground, shoot every angle, get multiple cameras involved. You just shoot. Were you guys kind of blown away? Is that kind of how they do it?
Yeah.
Too?
Like how many times can you pull your pinpointer out of the holster? Like, my God.
We need it from this height and this angle.
In 3 days, we got almost 40 hours of footage from 3 or 4 different camera angles. I mean, there were drones flying around. There were, I'm like, all right, everybody, I've got to take a bathroom break, man. Y'all ain't following me. It's like, y'all got to go somewhere else for a minute. It's like,
well, you still had the mic on though when you went, right? I mean,
no, I made sure to take that off.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're smart.
That won't be in the show. Don't worry, guys. That won't be in the show.
Oh my God.
When we filmed with the BBC, the audio guy is the guy that we thought was the coolest guy in the world, because he had been all over, over there in the UK filming shows for Studio Ramsey's studio. And he said, we just said, man, the stuff you must have heard over the years, because the mics were all hot. There was this big old drama thing going on set, huge drama episode going on set behind the scenes. And Tony and I were over there going like, what the hell? And then we got to thinking about it. We're just like, man, that person is absolutely crazy. And then we're thinking there, like the audio guy's hearing all this. Yeah. So can you imagine all the stuff that audio guy has heard over the years? He just told us, you guys have no idea. No idea. The stuff he's heard over there.
Oh yeah.
I heard Riley taking a piss in the woods one time.
Yeah.
You know what
he was whistling Dixie while he was doing it too.
Yeah. Somebody was frying chicken back there.
It's funny.
That's hilarious.
So you guys have had a really good experience with it so far.
It was fun. It was one of those things where it was a lot of hard work, sure, but it was overshadowed by the fact that I was working, but I was doing what I want to do. I'm not, hauling concrete in the sun or something horrible. At least I'm relic hunting in the sun. I'm miserable either way, but I'm doing something that I enjoy doing. So it made it a lot better. And it was a unique experience for sure. It allows us access to places too that people might not ordinarily, get to search, because we don't have a problem getting on a spot and just not keeping anything. We turned in everything we found in the first episode. We didn't keep anything. We gave it all to the landowner. You know, and they got some cool stuff. They got
Oh,
some,
they did.
They got some stuff where I was like, man, I wish I could keep that. But
I know you
know.
were literally bent out. You were like bent out of shape.
I was a little. I'll admit, I was a little irritated. I was like, man, I just spent 3 days in the sun in 90-degree weather, chipping at hard ground, man, and now I've got basically my paycheck is gone now. You know, but it is what it is. It was a great experience. You know, I'm happy to share the history with people. You know, some of the stuff, it's like, what am I going to do with some more bullets and stuff like that? There was only one item. It was a silver coin that I'd never dug before. Y'all are going to have to wait to see what it is, but it was a silver coin that was extremely old and should not have been there. But it was. I had to give that one up, and I was like,
that hurts
down a little bit.
Yeah, but it ties perfectly in with the history of the place, though. So
it was such an important piece because it was so out of place that it was really the crown jewel. And we found some other cool stuff too that I'd never dug before. That's pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are anxious to see what you guys have coming out and stuff. It all, you were talking, Riley, you were talking earlier about kind of staying true to who you are with, not being bought off by certain brand detectors or all that kind of stuff. How important at this point right now where you guys are at, how important is it to kind of maintain that creative control of what you want to put out and create and produce?
The way we have this entire thing built from the bottom, we have final say over every single thing that's in the show, that's said in the show, the final edit, the information. So we're basically the executive producers of the show. So there's not going to be anything in there that we didn't sign off on. So that's how you know it's going to be a good quality show. I'm not going to let anything slide. I want it to be
compromises.
Exactly the way me and Brandon want it to be.
Whereabouts in this country of ours did y'all film generally? Like, were you guys back east so far? And how many episodes do you have in the can right now? Also,
well, we've filmed some. We've done some filler footage, but we've filmed one episode, and that's mainly due right now to budget constraint, because we have all the places lined up that are just absolutely amazing. But so this episode was near Central Arkansas. I'm not going to name it. I'd rather not name the town right now. But I had actually had a guy reach out to me like maybe 6 months or so before we filmed, about the time we decided we were pull the trigger on this and we were going to do it. And he reached, and I'd never even heard of this place before, and I cannot even believe it. But after learning the history of it, like, it's so significant to Arkansas and Arkansas's history and just American history, really. And I mean, it's really mind blowing. It really is. And
I'll just give a little hint. Davy Crockett was there on his way to the Alamo. So that's how cool of a site it is. Some of the stuff we found was of the period.
Well, he stayed the night there. Actually.
It's a pretty cool site for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
But like, it was one of those things where we had to pick, like, do we want to do 3 episodes that are subpar, or do we want to sink everything we have into this one episode and just make it freaking awesome? And we all decided we're going to sink every dollar we've got into making one episode that just knocks it out of the park. So that's pretty much what we did. So essentially we have no money left, but we've got a really good show that, I would be shocked if people didn't just, eat it up. Even your average person that doesn't metal detect, we geared it to where it's interesting it's not so cheesy that it's, for people that don't metal detect. It'll be great for people that are interested, have never heard of it, are full-time relic hunters, are very experienced at it. It's right in the middle ground. So it's, it basically combines everything that people want to see, across the whole board.
And the whole purpose of this episode that you've perfected, you've scrutinized, you've poured your heart and soul into, you guys are now going to pitch this, right? You're now going to go pitch this to
it's like
maybe networks or production, other types of production companies that maybe have the connections to networks, in hope that somebody will pick it up with some funding and allow you guys to continue on this journey. So if you happen to be listening to Relics Radio out there and or watching the stream at some later date, if you have any suggestions for these fine gentlemen, you can reach out to me and I'd forward that information along, or we're going to be putting some information into the chat later and down below in the live stream to where you could get a hold of them on their various social media for sure. But that's sort of the intent, right, guys? Like try to
absolutely. And we've already gotten a few meetings set up with people for, I'm not going to name any networks, but some the ones we want. The ones we want. So if we can pull it all off, it'll go from 1 to 100, just like that.
Love it.
So it's all a waiting game now, man. Now's the lame part with lawyers and contracts and all that stuff. They're gonna hand me something that looks like a phone book and say, "Here, sign here," and I'm gonna have to read it every single page.
Yeah. Just hand them back a donut contract. I heard about, I'm in construction. He goes, yeah, they were giving me contracts this big. So I just handed them a donut contract, and it was a 1 sheet of paper, and he drew a donut and he put 4 different quadrants in that donut. He said, I do this, you pay me this, or you pay me this, I do this, then we do this, then we do this, and sign here for this amount of money. You know what I mean? Like,
that's my kind of contract.
Yeah, that's a good contract, man.
Yeah, those are the ones I like. Nothing with fine print.
Right. So the pilot that you guys got, you off the air before we started the show, you said you were hoping it would come in, the final cut come over back to you guys tonight. Is that something that you guys have to be able to release a little tidbit to, or is that kind of like you're just keeping it close to the chest now to be able to pitch?
We'll probably post the trailer. We'll probably post the trailer to it. I've seen the draft.
The trailer would be great.
I haven't seen the finished product of the draft yet, and I might not like it and make them edit it again. But
at least the trailer.
If I like it, we'll be releasing the trailer probably as soon as sometime next week. So I mean, it'll be pretty quick.
Well, it's kind of interesting.
Email?
You might want to hear this, but so as we were talking, I don't know if you saw it, Riley, pop up on your phone, but we did receive now we can't play it.
Come on, Brandon.
No, I'm sorry. I hate to even say it, but I just had to.
Oh, he did send it 20 minutes ago. He sent the trailer.
Let's go,
That's
guys.
awesome.
Come on, press play on that thing.
No, we can't. No.
Relics Radio exclusive.
Yeah, he did say that they have to tweak something on, I think. So
okay. So in terms of you wanting to release like a 2-minute trailer, is that going to be on the Facebook page then, or where do you guys think you can put that?
It'll be on the Facebook page. It'll be on my Facebook page. It'll be in every group I can get a hold of.
Okay.
It'll be good. We'll spread it far and wide. It'd be hard for somebody in the community to not somehow at least scroll by it.
Yeah, we'll do our best to share it out.
A couple of times we've had our chat here just asking when and where can we watch all that. They're so psyched for it.
I wish I had that answer yet. I'd be sitting here with a cold one if I did, but tentatively I might know something within the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but there's really just no telling.
Of course.
It could be a long process. Some of these networks, they might want us to change things in it. They might not like the name. They might not like the music. They'll go in and scrutinize it themselves too and say, if you want us to do this, you're going to have to do this, and so on and so forth. So if that's the case, it'll be longer, but we're hoping that's not the case. And we're hoping
it's going to have to be the right. It's going to have to be the right. Right. It's going to have to be the right, network, because you don't want somebody to come in and try to turn it into the
chop it all up
next Oak Island, which is absent
Exactly.
any conclusion, any climax or find, I know they have the formula, right? We were talking about that before the show. They obviously have a formula that works over a very wide variety of audiences because they've been on the air for so long, but still, when I heard you guys were doing this, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, of course, like you both are authentic, serious, talented, perfect people for this. Like, absolutely. If it turns into what you guys just explained it to be, which is a true history hunting show,
educational,
that's educational,
format.
is done by people that have the passion in them,
right?
Because
and knowledge.
Because last thing I don't like seeing is somebody that's out there giving out the information, but you could tell they don't have the passion for it. Like when we met Josh Gates, right? Like we had no idea who Josh Gates would be. We were expecting the worst, which would be him to fly up and come in and kind of like, okay, guys, like, where do I stand? And blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But he was completely who I'm glad he is, completely authentic, loved to metal detect, had the little kid glint in his eyes that he just, every time he'd find something, he'd be like, Ken, come here. Is there, oh, that's got a U on the shell. That's not for US, is it? Like, we'd be like, okay, yeah. So we'd like explain that to him, and the whole crew would get out their phones and like look up information on it because he wanted to get it right. And he was very personable and just wasn't this, you know, he had the passion for it, but yet he still has his formula for his Hollywood show. Yeah. And he had to kind of put that together, but it was cool to see that he had some authenticity.
He's got the final say in it. You know, he's directing and producing it. It was his idea from the start. You know, it's kind of a similar setup, you know, and that's, in my opinion, why it's been so successful, because Hollywood didn't get their fingers in it, you know?
Agree.
Because every time they've gotten in there, they'll just mess it up.
Yeah.
You know, they'll do something stupid.
We're very anti-Hollywood.
Like 2 sort of producers reach out to me and meet with me in the past. And I'm going to be honest, I hated both their ideas. I thought it was a terrible idea and I knew it would fail. I'm like, I don't know what to tell y'all, but that's not going to work. I mean, this is not the Kardashians, you know, it's, you got to go and it's not at all what you think it is.
Yeah, right.
You know, and there's not as nearly as many people that metal detect as you think there are, you know. That's another big part of it is, you know, we're trying to get outside of the niche, you know. Sure, there's hundreds of thousands of people that metal detect, you know, in the US, but, you know, we want to get into people that are interested in anything at all old. You know, we might be in somebody's garage picking through, you know, something that was abandoned in 1910 for one episode. You know, I mean, we're really not going to be limited to anything at all. It's going to kind of be, you know, all genres of history, even back to fossils and stuff, you know?
Yeah, something that's going to tug on the heartstrings and tell a story that you can feel, and not only feel, you know, just almost all your senses, you can experience it, you know, in each episode. That's what we want. Just integrity, honesty, truth, because Lord knows this world needs some truth, and just and just goodness. That's what we want. That's all we want.
And if you can find that, if you guys can do that, if you can touch on that emotional side, you'll have it. You'll have it, because people will hold on to that if they can feel something by watching your show. If you can make them feel something, they will hold on to it, right?
They'll always come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it like Maya Angelou, right? That kind of said, people will forget what you say, but they will never forget the way you make them feel.
Right.
So, you know, if you can find a show that connects with people on that kind of level and tries to portray that to them, to get them to get it, to feel something, whether that's cool or wow, or, oh my gosh, I hope they make it, whatever the feeling is, if you can make them feel it, man, then you'll have a lot of success for that. So I'm glad to see that's part of your focus for sure.
Yeah. I love it.
And
have you guys been,
I don't know if Brandon's already said this or not, but we also have some pretty cool graphics in the show. I mean, it's it's like exact. There's a couple clips in there that are exactly what I wanted. Like, you know, I watched it and I was like, this is great. I mean, not to toot mine and Brandon's own horns, but like, you know, we watched it.
You impressed yourself is what you're saying.
We nitpicked it so much, you know, that we were almost surprised that it was what we wanted, because we wanted something so specific, you know, and we didn't know if other people would be able to see our vision, you know, and you know, get it where it needed to be. But thankfully we've got a really good crew that, you know, has experience with the outdoor stuff, and they knew what we wanted in the show. and they've done a fantastic job with it so far.
Man, that's so cool. That's cool. So Bree just asked, she's all ready for the History Hunters hoodie. Are you coming out with the History Hunters snuggie? Like what?
I will.
Oh,
I promise y'all right now, if it takes off, I will have a History Hunters hood snuggie. It'll have me and Brandon's face on it.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I thought you wanted to sell it. I don't know about
our
that.
faces.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome, man. I just see myself opening it up for Christmas. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, but it's really comfy. We'll get it.
You open up that box and Brandon's face just grinning at you right there.
Oh,
Like,
my
oh, let's close that back up.
That's the first
You know,
thing.
if you
Straight
flip
to
the hood inside
Goodwill.
out, it's
Straight
Yeah,
to Goodwill.
straight to Goodwill. eBay, here we come. So, hey, have you guys been back to that property yet
We've
that you
not.
filmed on?
No,
Do you have plans
no,
to?
what's yes, and the reason why, because we know that there's some things that aren't on the episode that yes, that we're definitely going to be going back for sure.
Yeah,
I know what
Yep.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
that,
And
I don't wanna say too much.
we actually filmed 2 different locations. I think we were down there for like 3-4 days, and we filmed 2 different locations that were very close by. But we decided to stick with just one of the locations that had the more history behind it. Another spot was a Civil War campsite, and we found a bunch of cool stuff there too. But we kind of sat on that footage and that's a picture from the second site where we were Civil War relic hunting. I think that was a button or something Brandon found. But we're sitting on that footage because we might possibly be able to squeeze a second episode out of it, because we ended up finding way more than we thought we would, on that second site. So, and that could have been its own episode entirely because of the history there too. But we wanted to just focus on one site at a time. But when we go on these places, for the future episodes, which hopefully there will be plenty, we're going to have several different spots lined up that are close together that all have rich history behind them, just in case we get on one and it's not what we're hoping. We can quickly change gears, move to the other one, and one of the 3, we'll have heavily researched these places. One of the 3 will definitely be what we're looking for, So we've got a pretty good fallback on that too.
Good.
That image was so great quality, man. The camera these guys have, it must be massive.
Yeah.
They just have these giant cameras or what?
Yeah, well, they're just
the
really, really nice DSLR type cameras. I think both of them are, but they have these massive lenses on them, and their mics and stuff are very.
All these wires and big wide lenses.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
We
shoulder
have lots
mounted,
of
like the whole
photos,
body
lots
mount
of
and
photos.
free flowing, like you have a complete gimbal on it to kind of free flow it around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool.
Very
man.
cool stuff.
Yeah, I would have hated being that one camera guy there in the middle. That's our camera guy, Keegan. And you can't tell in this photo, but it's about 90 degrees right there. So he's not doing so good.
Oh yeah, he looks like
had
Morgan Wallen. Everybody.
we
every
had
time I
somebody
look at him,
delivering
I
us
was like,
water
Looks like
basically
more water.
nonstop.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are a little warm there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be awesome. Let me ask you, have you guys, did you guys find any, well, maybe you can't say anything, who knows? So this land that you guys were on was owned by somebody. So either this time or even in your personal other history here of your career of digging, you guys ever found something that belonged to the landowner? Like I was talking earlier, if I ever found one that said King on it, that some of my history lands, like, my heritage lands, I could freak out. Like you guys digging for whatever you think you're digging for, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I think this belongs to the Mrs. Jones that owns this land. You know what I mean?
I can't recall ever finding, maybe something modern like a ring or something like that. But honestly, I don't even think I would have really remembered that, to be honest. I'll just, whatever, if it was a modern find. But I haven't found anything that's old that can be traced back, because my area was so devastated by the Civil War that everybody left. Mississippi's population, the reason Mississippi is the way that it is, which is where I dig most of the time, is because of the Civil War. It never recovered. You know, right now it's the poorest state in the union. It's has one of the smallest populations, you know, for the land size that it has, you know, and in 1860, it was completely the opposite. Mississippi was the richest state in the union by far. It had the highest per capita millionaires almost in the entire world at that point. So, you know, once the Civil War happened, they burned everything. They ran everybody off. People left the state and it just never recovered. They never came back. So a lot of the landowners now are people that moved in since all that happened. You know, it's not the same landowners. It's rare for me to get on a spot that has been owned by the same family since the first settlers there, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been able to find 2 sets of or 2 dog tags, different properties, and return them to both people who had the dog tags had passed. I was able to give them to family members. Like one was a brother, and the other was actually a sister. She had like a personalized tag made. So it was very very special. But yes, those are 2 times that I can recall.
Isn't that great? Isn't that a great feeling when you can do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love the personal stuff. The personal stuff is just, I would much rather find even something that's insignificant, that's personal, way more than a killer find, a belt buckle or something like that. If it's a little piece of silver or a thimble that's got an initial on it or something that I can trace back, and I know it's that person, that's the coolest part about it for me, for sure. But
you guys remember seeing Matt Howe find that Civil War ID stencil?
Yeah. I think I know
Matt, but I didn't see that though.
Yeah, it's incredible.
When was it? Was it a while ago?
A while ago. He found it at the bottom of the river.
Yeah.
It up, and there it was,
Yeah.
I helped him do research on it, to research that guy, and it was incredible. Like we found out so many interesting things about that guy. He actually had 2 death dates on 2 different headstones sitting right next to each other. Right. So we never did figure out why, but just interesting stuff like that, but something personal like that, you know what I mean? Like that was his, that's, he was using that, cool. and how it ended up the bottom of the river, who knows, but
that's cool. Yeah. That type of stuff is that's pretty much why I do it. That stuff right there. That's got the, I'm interested in the really cool stuff, like belt buckles and buttons and stuff like that. But like some of my most prized possessions are personal items that I can trace back, like an ID tag or something like that,
It's that personal connection, man, for sure.
We're all in search
Grandma's
of
baroque.
Grandma's baroque. That's funny. I remember we have a friend that was going to start a YouTube channel, and he was going to call it "Grandma Drop Some Stuff." Grandma drops some stuff.
Grandma drops some stuff.
That's so funny.
So like something my son would come up with. That's hilarious. That's awesome though. It's kind of funny. It's catchy, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is catchy.
Hey, we had some questions come in, didn't we, Tony, in the chat?
Yep. Real quick, Riley's story about the cannonball in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
What's that about?
I found a 50-pounder naval cannonball. It was down in the swamp, and it had a wood fuse. The wood fuse had expanded and hardened. And so the powder, it was full of water, of course, but the fuse in there, or the wood, it was like a cork. I mean, it was rock hard. And so I tried hammering a little copper spike through it, trying to get through the fuse to disarm it, wash the powder out. And finally I said, this is stupid. So I'm tired of this. I went and I got a DeWalt drill with a drill bit on the end of it. And I started drilling through this, and I'm in my kitchen. And in hindsight, this was stupid. But I'm drilling through this thing, and I'm like, oh, I've got to be getting close. And I finally punched through it, and no sooner I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. I pulled the drill bit out, and it was like a geyser. I mean, an absolute freaking geyser of just jet black flood. It sprayed all over me, all over my face, all over the kitchen, all over the ceiling. I went running out the front door. I'm like, I've got to get out of here. I ran right out the front door, and only like a few minutes later did I come back in there, and I'm like, oh man. Now this was like, I was like maybe 18 or 19. The first thought was, my mom's going to kill me. I'm like, there's just there's black mud everywhere. And black powder will stain. I mean, it's like ink.
Sure.
I mean, it basically sprayed ink all over my kitchen. So yeah, that was a fun story to look back on, but not a fun story to experience.
Shoot.
Oh, well,
Classic.
we'll thank 5 Mile Relic Hunter for that comment there.
Yeah.
Bring that story. That's hilarious. That's so funny. We got just a couple more and we'll wind up here. But Riley, do you still have that golden horseshoe?
I still have the Golden Horseshoe Award that Butch gave me at one of the Chattanooga shows. It was a wooden plaque, and it had a Golden Horseshoe Award with my name on it, and each letter was individually done with a sequined sticker. And so they were all not level. They were all over the map. And the horseshoe on there was a real horseshoe that he'd cleaned up and spray painted gold with a can of spray paint and nailed on there. And I've still got that in my relic room. It's hanging on the wall now.
So cool.
Yeah. So I guess I do still have the golden horseshoe, an actual golden horseshoe.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's so cool.
But,
What else you got there, Tony?
Last one. Have you guys ever gotten a permission on a phone call?
Rarely.
Norm
I hate doing that. I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I hate doing that because people can get so much more information from you through your body language and how you look and how you present yourself. And it's really difficult to do that over the phone. Now, if it's somebody that they already know who I am, I don't have a problem doing that. But in terms of like just calling up a landowner, it's super difficult. It's super difficult.
I wouldn't recommend that at all.
Yeah.
Well, people are more daring.
That permission that way maybe once or twice. Seriously, like it's such a small number.
You know,
I don't even do that anymore.
It's the same thing as like being over the computer, you know, a keyboard warrior, or over the phone, you know, those kind of different things. People can not be who they are normally. They can be incompassionate and just be really just a jerk to you, you know, and they don't have any recourse. They're not face to face, you know, with somebody. So it's a little bit easier to say no over the phone than it would be like standing on their front porch, you know, talking.
Exactly.
Nice people.
Or you're hit with the choice of they didn't answer because they didn't recognize your number. Now what?
Of course.
Do you leave
Nowadays,
a message and hope that they call you back, which probably will never happen?
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Then if you have to go and knock, then you look like you're harassing. You know, you've already contacted them once and they ignored it, you know, and now you've showed up at their house. You know, that's a little bit more crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next time I'm showing up at your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate even knocking the same places twice. It's like if they've got cameras and stuff and I go up and knock and then they weren't home, you know, I know they saw me. You know, it's like, so it makes I'm even more nervous the next time I knock because they look and they go, it's this guy again?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this guy needs to go home, leave us alone type of stuff. You know, it makes me nervous that way, but I've never had any real problems with it.
Cool.
But
guys, listen, man, you've been great. I really appreciate you giving us your time and sort of the scoop. I know this is kind of the first time you've been able to talk to it, so we really appreciate you coming on Relics Radio. Wish you guys just the best of all things coming up. Good luck with we looking forward to that trailer coming out here pretty soon. You guys look below. We'll have all the links to the Facebook pages and all of Riley's links and places you can find out about them. Good luck with the pitch. I hope that the whole first episode comes out great and you guys are able to get that out there and that the right people are able to pick that up and take you guys far with it and stuff. You're just going to kick the crap out of Oak Island. I just know it, man.
I hope so, man. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah, it's not our intention.
Make a TV show that people will talk about positively because I don't hear very much positive about Oak Island.
Right.
But
last words from you guys, man. We'll put you down in the green room. We'll say our goodbyes off the air real quick as we wind this down. But Brandon, you got any last words for us? And we'll go to Riley after that.
Oh, it's just I'm always humbled to talk with you guys and just to talk about our passion and what we're doing and just the fact that we're able to, you know, share it with the world is most important to us. And just it's we love good people and you guys are good people and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, we appreciate
Yeah,
it for sure.
it's one of those things where we put so much time into it, and we want it to reflect well upon everybody in the community. So just final thoughts. Just we're going to go with this thing like everybody would want us to. So that'll be a good aspect to it for sure.
Everyone in the chat's wishing you well. I think you got a lot of huge
I appreciate
supporters in the community behind you. We're all rooting for you. Just can't wait to see it, man. And give you high five sometime when we see y'all. I know it's going to do well. It's going to do well. You guys got good attitude. I'm sure you'll get good people around you to just knock it out of the park. Really excited for you guys for sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Hang out down below. We'll be to you in just a second.
All right.
Man, can't wait to see it. I know, you guys that exemplify are great ambassadors for the hobby. I mean, I know we say that there's a lot of good people out there, right? There's a lot of people in this hobby. It's hard to find a bad person, but those two guys, man, are just class acts.
They're awesome. Yeah.
And have the experience and have the knowledge and know-how and the passion. And Brandon said it, man, if they can connect with that emotion,
that's the key.
More than just the detecting community.
Yep.
Everyone feels emotion. Everyone feels, everyone can be made to feel something. It doesn't have to be a detectorist. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so if they can figure that formula out while also staying pure to what they're presenting and to themselves and to the history, I think they'll do great.
Yep, I agree. And I know we'll say it off the air with these two, but I want to say it formally on here. Whatever they need, if you guys need anything, just let us know. We'll do the best that we can to help you guys out. And everybody in the chat as well, all kinds of good luck, awesome show, rooting for you, excited to see just nonstop support. So, whatever anybody can do to help them maybe get a foot in a door somewhere just in front of the right person, we definitely would love to be able to do that. So
yeah, we never know who's listening to the show or who's watching the show. I mean, we've always been shocked by people that have reached out and said, "Hey, heard you on the show, listened to your show." So you never know. So yeah, that's a good point. Reach out if you got any way to help. We'll put you in touch. That's for sure.
Yep, 100%.
All right, what's up? When are we detecting again? I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to detect with my torn meniscus.
Yeah, I know.
Because
you know what?
I don't want it to stop me, but
piggyback ride. I got you.
How about if I just flag all the targets and bring my son along to dig them all up for us?
Well, yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
Cool.
And then we get to keep everything that we find. You're just identifying it. We keep it all then. Hey, if you guys want to see what I'm up to, join me over on social media.
Sorry.
Social media, 5280 Adventures, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those different places. 5280 Adventures. Come back, chat with me. Would love to see you guys and interact with you. So awesome guest, man. Oh my gosh, awesome guest.
Fun. That was a lot of fun. Love talking.
All right, buddy.
Guys. All right, man. Yeah, you can find me anywhere on social media, Adventures in Dirt. Just look around. I got a bunch of the content out there and stuff. But hey, if you're on the East Coast, all my friends out there, listeners of the show, if you're on the East Coast being buried by snow right now, dig yourself out, hug your family, stay warm, get cozy. You saw Riley. He was wearing this Snuggie. Yeah, just get into your Snuggie and just chill for a minute. But wish you all best. Stay safe out there, and hope that it goes away soon. You can all get back out to digging. Have yourself a great week. If you get out, go find the good stuff. Make sure you tell us about it, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.